It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. It feels so good to say that after nearly a month of being away from you guys. Greg and I took some time up at our Northern California property. Our son, daughter-in-law, and baby granddaughter met us up there. Our daughter Alex was there, and it was just such an amazing, amazing time. But I missed you, and it's so good to be back. I thought it's not Wednesday, but I thought it would be fun to take you through and show you what's been going on while we've been away a month. Now remember when I cut those string of pearls off of the fountain because they were getting too much sun out there. They pouted all summer. I had to move an umbrella around and it was just a pain in the butt. So I decided that it would make more sense to put the plants where they would have the best chance of thriving without so much intervention from me. So I took hunks of the string of pearls and I put rocks on top of them to hold them steady in the hopes that they would root and thrive. And guess what? They haven't rooted yet, but they're thriving. So I'm so thrilled that this idea worked. If I hadn't applied the rock, the weight and gravity would have just pulled them down onto the ground. So this makes me very, very happy. You're probably going to be wondering what these little blooms are. These are Crassula platyphylla. And it is the first part of June and they are coming into flower. When they're done, we'll just snip the blooms off and the plant will continue to thrive. Let's go to the propagation station. Ah, yes. These little leaf babies are looking spectacular. Some of them, you know, not so much. Oh dear thing. Ugh. You know, it's just a miracle that these plants survive at all, isn't it? But look at the ones that have rooted. Now, I think since these plants are so eagerly and aggressively throwing off roots, that it would probably be a really good time for me to go ahead and lay these on some soil so these roots have somewhere to go. I'm not going to separate the little plantlets from the mama leaf yet, but I am going to give them some soil. I feel like they're really reaching for it. Now the ones that have not thrown off any roots yet, I won't apply soil to. But the ones that have, I will. And then I'll report back after I've done that, and we'll see how that's going. And as usual, the Fred Ives are overachievers. I mean, take a look at how big those plantlets are on these leaves. I think that when they get to be about the size of a quarter, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and pop the plant off the leaf, like so. And then this can just be planted either in a pot or in the ground, and it can continue on in perpetuity. Take a look over here at this Fred Ives stem. You know, you are all saying, oh, don't throw away the stems, don't throw away the stems, and I'm saying, oh, why not? They're trash. Let's try an experiment. So at the very beginning of quarantine, which would have been like over 3 months ago, just to humor you guys, I put this stem without any roots whatsoever into this planting can and just have forgotten about it. And clearly, you guys were right. Look at all of the baby plants on this stem. I am forever changed. I will never be so cavalier again about just throwing stems away. Thank you. Oh, and then remember our Brugmansia that fell over, literally cracked in half from the weight of all the blooms? Look at the comeback that it's making. Those leaves are a good foot and a half long by 8 inches wide. That makes me very happy. So I was gone for almost a month, and Hannah did a really good job of keeping everything alive, but there were a lot of weeds. I spent an entire day pulling them, but just a day. And frankly, it was a lot of fun because I knew coming out here with a butter knife and getting up all of the weeds was going to be very therapeutic for me, and it really was. We have a very rare experience right now, too, at this time of the year, where my bougainvillea is going off at once. This makes me happier than a pig in poop. I'm telling you, look at this, how gorgeous. The purples, the pinks, the reds. I mean, it's just spectacular. And then all of the little cuttings that I planted early in quarantine, probably 2.5, 3 months ago, are starting to root and get bigger, starting to thrive. Now, some things like this is a Fred Ives that is extremely heat stressed. I just laid this, basically, this whole arrangement right here, I just laid this on top of the ground and went away for a month. And this spot gets a little bit hot. So these plants, they're not dead, they're not dying, they're just chilling, they're just kind of dormant. See how, yeah, oh, so pretty. See how kind of thin and desiccated these leaves are? But look, there's all kinds of little roots. So now I can begin gently watering this plant, knowing that there are roots that can take in the water to support growth. I am so thrilled with my Fred Ives crest. It is really growing and looking amazing. Even the little cotyledon is throwing off some really beautiful little orange blooms. Overall, I'm really, really happy with this vignette right now. We've already established that this Attenuata variegata is rooted. I mean, it is in there tight. So she is just set for the season. And we talked also about my fountain, that I'm going to start putting some larger specimens in this fountain because it was just looking a little run-a-mucky and kind of hot messy. And I think that some larger plants kind of anchor it all. So I added a little sunburst aeonium, a Fred Ives, and a little aloe hybrid up here. And already it's starting to look pretty good. Oh my goodness. Some of you were asking about my roses. I love roses. These are Eden Climbers. Now, I've tried these twice. The first time, about 10 years ago, I planted 6 of them in the ground, and the voles came through and just ate them. They just ate every trunk right across, killed my roses. So Greg built me these really cute little wooden boxes, and I lined the boxes with a 1/4-inch gauge hardware cloth, then added soil and planted the roses so that the voles couldn't get at them, and how they have thrived. These are called Eden Climbing Roses. They're double, they're very romantic. They don't have a tremendous amount of scent, but they're a tough rose that keeps on giving every year. And all I do about 3 times a year is apply Bayer 3-in-1 Systemic. These are the crystals. It also comes in a liquid, which I prefer. I just slop some of those in the boxes and water them in. And what this does is it feeds and protects from pests all at the same time. So you can see the roses are absolutely healthy. Then in the winter in December, I cut them back by about 1/3 and just wait for spring. Easy peasy. Okay. Oh, mercy. Yes, the tapestry that we did is spectacular. It looks absolutely breathtakingly amazing. Look at the Allocameronii that was green as grass when we put it in, and now look at it. It is doing what it does, turning blood red and throwing off a couple of little roots. So it is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. The little hanging basket is looking really, really tight. And next project, well, one of the next projects that I'll work on is resetting these gutters because they are looking a little run-a-mucky. I think you will agree. So this next week, I'm going to start scheduling some maintenance and some installations, and we are just going to get back to business as usual. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity. I have missed you to the moon with your succulent tip of the day. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to say it anymore. It's been so long. Wait, okay. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity reporting from my backyard with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, everybody.